Should you share your grief with your family, friends, or colleagues? I know you're about to share your grief, but then you stop and wonder, hesitating, should I or shouldn't I? Should I or shouldn't I? Today, I'm going to share my own personal journey addressing this topic. I'm going to share three best kind of people whom you can just go and vent out without just being feared whether that they will judge you or pity zone you, by sharing insight on this topic by different perspectives so that you can decide the very best one by your own self. The first person whom we go as soon as we had a loss or we are suffering something is our loved ones at the inner circle. But what if the loss happened in the inner circle itself? Obviously, they are not the option. The family is not an option because they are itself trying to figure out what just happened, and going to them will never be the same. So, who comes next? Next are friends and colleagues. Colleagues, really? I don't understand this concept of colleagues. Some are even getting married to colleagues, uh, but it's different for different people. That's totally understandable. But in my case, I felt like colleagues, that friendship, the bond of colleagues are just like a big boss, because big boss or big brother, because they be friends just in the time being. They just be friends for just to get their projects be done, and only in that cubicle. Okay, maybe they just chat and all does all those things outside, but personally I don't feel like the personal connection happens between the colleagues. I do have like few number of friends who shows that bond really, and they're just a handful, like 1 out of 100, maybe that's the ratio. I know 100 people, and out of that only one is like I share that connect. So I don't believe colleagues is an option itself, because you are going to see them every day, and if you're going to share something personal to you, you would have that hesitation of whether they will judge you, and there is possibility of that too. And without they itself knowing, they may have pity for you, and if you are someone like me who doesn't want pity, then totally not, that's not the same. And who comes next? Next in the list is friends. Friends, there are two kinds of friends. Okay, I'm not sounding like a science teacher. What I'm coming to say is the friends whom you see daily, and the other one who's like you just catch up on calls and catch up on someday, rarely, occasionally, maybe your school friends or your like childhood friends, somebody like that. If you're We are live in a community where people don't know how to address people who are suffering through grief. It's the same case for me too. If I know somebody who have faced a loss, bringing myself to them to address this topic is pretty hesitating. Not hesitating, we are like so conscious that we don't want to hurt them, so we always put the topic under the carpet in whatever conversation we have with the friends. And so obviously they are not going to come and talk to you about it, and you are like hesitating, and as I said, you are as I said, oh my god, as I said, you are hesitating whether you should do it. But I don't think that's a good option either, because if you are going to face them daily, then there are more chances of they judging you, and you getting pity, and maybe your friendship itself will be like different angle, because they really don't know how to deal with it. So I prefer you to share your grief with a long distance friend whom you know from your childhood, and they know every stages of your life. And even if not childhood, or like college friends who are like long distance, because you only initiate the conversation, and you can hold it up the way you want it. And if you don't want like they consoling you really don't want it. Some don't want it, some only want to share. If you are such kind of person, then really long distance will be like a best option, because if you're like consoling, you can just end up the topic there, and you can move to something which you want. So long distance is the best option. Saying that, if you're about to burst out and you did burst out and only the friends or the colleagues whom you are seeing day to day are sitting next to you, don't hesitate at that time that you should only share it to your long distance friends. No, it's just not like that. Bursting out, it's like overwhelming for you, and that's why you're doing it. At that time, you can't just restrict putting rules for your own self. Occasionally, during such kind of events, you can, but regularly, if you want to share it, really share it with your long distance friends. It will help you. Trust me, without getting any pity, without any getting any. If you want, you it's okay, but basically, you can hold the conversation and you can hold where it goes. So, long distance is a better option. And another option, if you don't want to share it with your friends, if you don't want to share it with your friends, colleagues, or family members, you can share it to someone who's a stranger. Because number one thing, they are not going to judge you. He or she is not going to judge you because they don't know you. How come they can judge you without even knowing you? That's the first reason. And the second reason, you're not going to see them. And even with the long distance friends, they can call you, but this stranger can't call you unless and until you initiate the conversation. So stranger is a better option, like online coach, or like there are some forums like 7 cups and some many forums where you can really do it, and you can do it in this comment section too, just to let it go out. Even writing out really helps a lot. Nobody is going to see your YouTube comments, right? None of your friends are going to just check on whom's video or have you commented. They're not going to do it. So that way you can get a different perspective from people also. I'll reply to you if you're sharing something in the comment. I'll reply my own perspective. What should you do at this stage, at whatever stage you are? And the other people who are watching this are also going through their own grief, so that you can get different perspective. And the another friend whom you can just share your grief is the one who have went through the loss previously. Really, they have been through it. They know it exactly what you're feeling, so that they'll give whatever you want. So just go and vent out to them, even if even if they are someone whom you see daily or whom you see occasionally. They are like best option. Just go and vent out to them, and they'll give you tremendous support which you wanted right now. Support is needed. It's really needed. We're human beings. We live in a community. And community is needed because we need to share and help each other out, not in the case of money, but in the case of emotional stability and emotional support. That you can get it from first the friends who have been through this loss already, and then the long distance friends, and the third one is the stranger who totally don't know you. These are the 3 best options to go with. So what are you waiting for? Just call up and just vent out if you really want to do it.